Welcome back to another Rosh Reviews, everyone. And today we're making magic happen because this symphony of a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 is magic. And guys, we are comparing the two legends, the W204 versus the W205. The C63s are going head to head, and we're going to figure out which one you should go ahead and buy, because there is a bit of a difference here, because we got a big old 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8 in this one. We're talking 336 kilowatts, 600 Newton meters, and rear wheel drive. This thing is hella insane, because that noise, guys, just wow, it's magic. Then we're gonna go over to the twin turbo 4-liter V8, the bi-turbo, the C63S. So stick around, guys. We're gonna figure out both these cars, and this should be fun. Now, everybody knows the C63, and especially the W204, because that is really what made the magic happen. You know, it started it all with this car. And just the noise, you downshift, you get on it. Oh my goodness, it is savage. And you know, again, when these came out, it was just like you were a rock star if you were in one of these. You really were. And just covering the basics here again on these is 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8. We're talking 336 kilowatts from factory, so just a little over 450 horsepower and about 600 Newton meters. So, you know, straight out the gate for this time period, that was significant. And when you hear this thing, mate, it is just, it's one of the best sounding naturally aspirated V8s, you know, I think, to come out of Germany for a very long time. And, you know, if not the best, honestly. So, you know, you just hear those a little blip downshift. Oh, it is addictive. Now, this is a good thing you do notice with this gearbox. So, being the 7-speed, it allows you to shift more and be in that right kind of power band with this motor. So, you know, you really want to be kind of around that 3-4 grand to really get the most out of it. You know, obviously it's got 600 Newton meters down low still, but you know, you can downshift at 3,000, take it to 4 and a bit, rev it, up change, keep that power going, and mate, these things handle incredibly well. I always forget how good these things actually will go around a corner. It just feels like such a tight car, and it's got grip. It actually does have grip, this thing. So yeah, these things are impressive. You know, they rev out to over 7,000, and man, it's crazy. And this is really what it comes down to in my mind with the C63. You know, it's the bad boy German muscle car. You know, it is really like the German-American bad boy. And you come around this real tight hairpin. Traction control does a good job of keeping you in line. And the big brakes up front stop you too. Oh, and just the symphony. It is, it's just, if you have never experienced one of these cars, you have to once in your life. This will make you a petrol head, I guarantee it. And yeah, those Teslas you've been looking at, you ain't gonna buy it after you drive this thing. And again, you know, the fact that these things are getting, you know, nearly sub 40 grand in a world that is, you know, going electrified, this is a hell of a buy. This is a huge amount of car still. And, you know, as much as it is slightly dated on the interior here, this thing still feels old school luxury, old school nice. And, you know, these beautiful red seats in here, you got the sunroof, the wheel feels very nice in the hands. You know, it definitely has that datedness to it, but man, who cares when you got that Symphony? Because, oh, it is just so good. And man, I love this thing. I absolutely love it. Now guys, if you are enjoying this type of content, make sure you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you are new here, because we love showing off V8s, turbos, you know, anything with a good old performance engine in it is what we're about. And we do upload twice a week here, so if you're enjoying this content, consider subscribing. Now, 0 to 100 people, we are lining up on this back road and we are going to attempt it. So we are going to see if we get this into a race start. Yes, yes, lad. I think that was the one. And it is, you got to get used to having to put this into race start. There's a little bit of a process, but once you figure out how to do it, wow, this thing launches. Let's have a look at the time. Look, these are claimed at 4.5 seconds from factory. We got 4.49 seconds. Bang on. Look, we're on a back road, so, you know, the road surface isn't perfect, but guys, that is a massive win. Big win. So now that we've discovered this is a hell of a good time, it's a hell of a soundtrack, a hell of a motor, it goes like stink, handles the corners, it's got feel, it's communicative. Let's try the W204, eh?
What did he say?
Now, in the W205, and we got a bit of a difference here, don't we? So now the noise is very much more crackly, you know, a little bit more tinny maybe, but wow, it's good still. Wow. Now these W205s, guys, these are the 4-liter bi-turbo. So we're talking from factory, this thing was going to be pushing around 375 kilowatts and, you know, look, 700 Newton meters from factory. So yeah, rear wheel drive still again, and these still do have a 7-speed automatic. So, you know, it's fun, this thing, there's no doubt about it. And when you sit in this car, you can see there's an upgrade here, because man, carbon fiber, you know, just the fancy clocks, just the stainless steel, just, oh, everything you touch, guys, it is premium. The seats, you know, bucket AMG seats here. We got the full panoramic roof. Even got a very snazzy heads-up display now in this. And even the wheel, you know, the paddles, they just feel nice and heavy. Everything feels well thought out, well put together. Very much German. Now this particular one, guys, I will tell you, has been tuned. So this is essentially putting the power to the wheels. So, you know, look, we're not overstretching here. It is a pretty mild tune, but, you know, now it is pushing roughly that 500 to the wheels now. So instead of 500 to the crank. Now let us see what this will do 0 to 100. Originally claimed here at around 4 seconds. we are gonna pull up and see if we can figure it out. So just gonna reset the draggy. We are gonna put it into its sport mode, confirm. Yo, my phone just went everywhere. What an absolute beast. Man, traction is your biggest issue, but let's have a look at the time. 0 to 100, guys, was done in 4.39 seconds. And look, I know we did go slightly downhill there, but again, guys, it's just the back road we're on is very hard to find an opening, a space to let this thing rip, and traction is an issue. I did do about 3 or 4 tests here, and yeah, they were all kind of around that 5 seconds when I just couldn't get traction. That time I managed to do a lot better, and 4.39, man, it's actually really impressive how close the old one is. You know, that got a 4.49, so 1/10 of a second difference here is really impressive for the old girl. Now, on the used market, buying one of these, guys, you're going to be paying 80 to 150 plus, because yeah, these are incredibly nice cars. As soon as you sit in, you'll understand why. But that is a huge amount of money, and when you start comparing it, man, I think for, you know, half the price basically here, that 6.2 liter is looking pretty damn good, I gotta say. You know, now look, if you were gonna be dailying this thing, or you're gonna sit in it a lot, you wanna have a think about it, because the interior has massively improved in this one. So, you know, the W205 definitely got a much more user-friendly interior. Just, you know, everything feels very much more modern, very premium. It is a high-end luxury car, this. And that noise, jeez, it's wild. And just with the 7-speed here, you know, you just have so much freedom to play with the gears. And with these paddle shifters, oh, it is just so fun. And this thing, man, it will get sideways with even the traction control on. So this is one of those cars that really can inspire a bit of fear into you, which honestly, if you're a real petrolhead, you'll want one that can scare you a little bit. And this most definitely can. Oh my goodness. And the brakes are excellent. Really stops this big 1.8 ton vehicle well. You know, this thing's even probably getting closer to 1.9 tons, really. You need to stop it. Wow, that just, oh my goodness. That's where you feel it. You know, the real mid-range on this with those turbos. Wow, it punches. Like, I would say the power band is actually almost quite similar to the 6.2 liter NAV8, because honestly, from around that, like, you know, 2.5, like 3,000 RPM, geez, you put your pedal in and this thing is instantly off. Like, it just absolutely sends it. You know, we're at 3,000 right now, and we just get into it, and 3, 2, 1. Whoa, sideways. Like, I'm not playing with you guys. This thing is crazy, and it really, yeah, about 3,000, it hits hard. I can't believe I'm saying this, but throughout my entire channel, I've always said I would take the original W204. I would just take that. It's the big, it's the baddie, it's the V8, it's the best. Oh, Jesus! Yes, and I know this has got it tuned. So look, I know it's putting that 500 crank to the wheels now. Yeah, look. Oh, man. These two cars, you cannot lose. You cannot lose. Whatever you get, you are always, you're going to be happy. But I actually have to say now, if you have the money and you can afford this thing, wow, get this. Like, no question. Get this W205 because this is without a doubt, this is the car. It is. And, look, obviously, I love that. I love the W204. I absolutely love it. But, I just can't argue with this level of luxury, this level of performance. Everything's tight. The steering's tight. Suspension's tight. And it absolutely takes off like a bat out of hell. This isn't going to be a cheap car to own, and it's not going to be a cheap car to run. This is not a cheap car to buy, but my God, if you have the means, this is the best right here. It's the best. It is. It's just better in basically every way. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't want to get out of this. I want to very much take this home. You will go to jail if you own one of these things, guys. I tell you what, because if you're a true petrol head, there is just no way you can help yourself because it is so easy to create an absolute racket, skid tires, and just absolutely shatter the speed limit here because this is just a bullet. Now guys, I'm going to finish the video off here today, so look, what are we going to take from it? Well look, if you got the money, get the W205. Plain and simple. It's the better car, the more luxurious car. It is just an absolute savage. But look, if you want to buy something that, again, is half the price, it's a little bit less, you like that more old school feel, then the W204 is absolutely fantastic and you cannot go wrong with buying it. So, yeah. In layman's terms here, guys, you can't go wrong with either one, but if you got the money, get the newer one. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button. Consider subscribing. We'll see you on the next one. Woo.